Greetings! So a while ago, Jeanette of A Perfect Touch proposed a collaboration called Whimsical Witches. It was a good long while ago. I think I'm the last one uploading a video, but let's not dwell upon that too long, for I shall just get depressed. Anywho, the idea behind Whimsical Witches is that you pick a theme and you build a witch outfit around it, basically. My friends, this is my second failure. I don't have a clue what kind of witch I'm in. I couldn't think of a theme. I just thought, I'll just start and then the theme will reveal itself to me. It didn't. So here I am. Got my witch outfit all finished. And I still don't know what kind of witch I am. So here's where I call upon you, my noble viewer, to help me out. If by the end of this video you have been struck with inspiration, please let me know what kind of witch you think I am. I did all this from stash, so I guess technically I could be called a stash buster witch. It's all blue. I could be a blue witch, but that's just a little bit too general, I think. So, I still don't know. If you have any idea, let me know in the comments. Anyway, here is my making of my whimsical witch outfit. Cheers. Let's start with the skirt. Of course it has pockets. Witches always have pockets. It's where they keep their spells, crystals, lip balm, hairpins, and other important stuff. Skirt pattern-wise, I opted for the simplest of the simple, 2 rectangles and a long narrow strip of fabric for the waistband. I didn't even cut the back panel in 2 to make place for an invisible zipper. I used a normal zipper and marked out the length and placement on the fabric. I sewed around it to make sure the fabric wouldn't fray, then I cut into the fabric, stopping just short of the full length of the zipper, and cut 2 tiny diagonal cuts at the bottom. I folded under the fabric, placed the zipper underneath, and sewed it in place. Upper brim, lower brim. This is gonna go on top of each other. God darn it. This is the cone, the point, whatever you want to call it. Outside, inside. I am kind of not sure if this is going to be enough by itself. I mean, I picked this.
Mickey Mouse. My Mickey Mouse.
Oh. Whenever she sees T's circles, she is reminded of Mickey Mouse's ears. She has now draped the circles on my back, therefore I am Mickey Mouse. Oh, just another day. Made the brim, got the cone ready. Now begins the figuring out how to get everything to fit, because not everything is entirely the right size. If you hear like loud stompy feet, it's my daughter stomping around. Oh, no. Now the big puzzle begins. There goes the brim. Oh well, looks great already, don't you think? So the hat is mostly done. I've pinned everything into place to try and get everything to settle a little bit. I'm not sure if I should steam it, but I guess I could run the iron over it on just the hot setting and not the steam setting, and that should improve things. Done the inside with the grosgrain ribbon, and I'm gonna hand stitch this down, and it looks a little bit bulky. Probably not gonna be the prettiest hand stitching ever, especially since this is really kind of sturdy and doesn't want to fold very much, which is, well, part of the reason why I put it in there in the first place, because it will give the whole thing more structure. And I'm kind of happy with how it looks. I can't really show you right now because I have a high bun on the top of my head, just exactly where I don't really want it, but the idea is that it sort of sits like this. And I'm sure that I'm gonna have to use either hat pins, or I might buy one of those clips that you use for hair extensions, like the little tiny thingies with like teeth, and you snap them shut and they grip your hair, sort of. They're brilliant. I might buy some of those for this, just so that I won't have to fiddle with a hat pin all the time. But yeah. Witch hat in baby rib. Good morning, good morning. I am working again on the witch hat. I am again. I'm working on the witch hat. I have taken the stitching out twice now because this doesn't really sit the way I want it to, but I guess I'm just gonna have to accept that. It's a little bit more wrinkly than I would like, but I can't really see any way around that. And I am stitching it in with this lovely vintage cotton thread from J. Brook and Brothers. Don't really remember where I got this. Probably from either the thrift store, or it was in the sewing box that I got from somebody whose mother had passed away. But I really love it, look. It's very, very, very sturdy, so I'm just using a single thread. It's really, I can't even snap this by hand. I have to cut it. So I think single thread is gonna be fine for the job. I am thinking, however, of just...
Oh my goodness!
I have forgotten what I was saying. I think I should just stop filming now. I have come to a decision regarding the embellishments. I have taken some checked fabric that I have in my stash, found it at the thrift store, and I've cut it on the bias so you get this elegant pattern, which I plan to drape around the base of the hat like so. And I will do the same for the skirt, have this go all around the bottom edge. And the skirt, I'm just gonna sew it on, like, you know, like sew here, sew there, sew everywhere. But here I don't want to do that because I want to keep it a little bit stretchy, because the bottom of the base is of course a little bit bigger than the top of, well, the top of this thing where this is gonna rest. So I want to be able to pull it a little bit so that it will mold itself nicely to the shape. And if I sew the edges, it's gonna lose that elasticity. So what I'm gonna do is just very loosely baste these edges together here so that they will sort of stay put when worn around the hat, hopefully. So that's the plan.
I draped the pattern for the waistcoat myself, but alas, the footage has mysteriously vanished. I was over the moon with the fit of the second mock-up, so proceeded to make the final waistcoat. Up until now, I was thoroughly enjoying the process. Being an actual witch, it was so much fun to make something like this. I had already had a taste when I made the American Duchess wrap cape, and on a whim decided to make a witch hat to go with it. I really love the chic witchy aesthetic, and I definitely want to add more self-made clothing and accessories to my witchy wardrobe. So keep an eye out for that in future videos.
So after having done a mock-up, the waistcoat still wasn't what I wanted. The fit was horrible. I still don't understand exactly why. Maybe I did something wrong, threw away the wrong pattern. I don't know. But here's what I did to try and salvage it, because I wasn't going to make another mock-up. I was very, very disillusioned and unmotivated at this point, so I just sort of cheated. Here's what I did though. I'm gonna try and explain it a little bit. I cut off the pieces that I thought were not good, and I laid those pieces out on the pattern. Use those to draw the lines on the pattern where I had to cut. So this went away. This is for the lining, the inner lining. Let me show you. Where is it? Anyway, this is the pattern for the lining, because the lining has to match the outer pattern. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a horrible, horrible jumbled mess. But before I cut this, because this is like softer lining fabric. Oh, I apologize. I'm so bad at explaining this. Bear with me, bear with me. I hope it will make sense in the end. Anyway, this is like the soft, flowy, like inner lining fabric, and this is made out of the outer fabric, which is more stiff, so that it will give me more support here and be less prone to wrinkling. And also, I guess for the buttonholes, it's gonna hopefully make a difference, make them sturdier. Anyway, so this is supposed to happen. This was always supposed to happen. This I took off, and I also took off bits at the side, but I don't have that piece on me right now. But I basically did the same thing that I did here. I cut out a piece of the side and I laid it on here, drew it, cut it. So hopefully the lining pattern is going to be matching up with the outer pattern. I'm not sure if this was at all wise, but I did this as carefully as I could, and well, basically it was just a choice between making yet another mock-up and potentially having that fail too, because I still don't know what I did wrong. And if I did anything wrong, well, clearly I did. Clearly I did something wrong, because... But anyway, I hope this kind of makes sense. I'm a terrible teacher. There's a reason I never went into teaching. But let's just keep going, see how it turns out. I'm actually really curious to see how it turns out. Let's just keep going. Excuse the overexcited baby noises that will be happening from time to time, but have I ever shown you my Achilles heel? It is this. No, it is not buttonholes in particular. It's the fact that I find myself very, very dependent on sewing instructions. Most of the time I use pre-existing patterns and I follow the sewing instructions very carefully. This pattern I draped myself, thus it had no sewing instructions. And this is what happens. These buttonholes are far too close to the edge. Like, far too close. This is how they are supposed to be. These are good buttonholes, because if I close this, the button's going to be here, so it's going to look very, very stupid. And this is a result of me just not stopping to think about, hey, what am I doing? Where are these buttonholes supposed to go? This is just me going on autopilot and just going like buttonhole, 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 yeah, buttonhole. And that's not a good thing, because that's how mistakes are made. Thankfully, I came to the realization that this was all wrong before I had cut into the fabric. See, I hadn't made all the buttonholes yet, so I haven't cut into the fabric yet. Phew! So I can just take these out with my seam ripper and make new buttonholes slightly more to the side. Crisis averted, hopefully. Is this the most appropriate tea mug or what? So, what do I have to say about this here ensemble? First of all, the skirt. I love making the skirt. It was easy, it was fun, it's flattering. I'd make it again in a heartbeat. The waistcoat, not so much. I had made 2 mock-ups, which for me is a record. Never make 2 mock-ups. Barely even make 1, let alone 2. So I was feeling very, very proud of myself. Only to be rewarded with a less than stellar fit. So, yeah. I mean, it was so bad that when I was trying it on and I was in the process of sewing the buttons on, I just sort of collapsed into despair halfway sewing the buttons on, and I just left it there for a week and a half. Just could not get over myself. However, in the end, I did get over myself, sew the rest of the buttons on, and lo and behold, the fit wasn't as bad as expected, so what was it they said again? You're not rewarded for effort, you're rewarded for results, or results are their own reward. Either way, moving on. So the waistcoat, not my favorite project ever, but good enough. You might have noticed that I have forgone sewing a blouse. I had planned to sew a little blouse with a big bow, but I couldn't find the proper materials in my stash. It was just too much of a departure from the whole color scheme. And I actually kind of like how this looks with the whole get up. If, by the way, you want to know how to sew one of these, I have a video right here where you can learn how to make your own. So if you like the look of this, take a look at this. Smooth. Right. This thing on my head, what's it called? Hat. Yes. Witch hat. A witch hat. I'm not sure if I showed you yet what I did with the inside, but here it is. I attached a comb. I had initially planned to attach one on either side so I could just sort of scrunch it on my head and it would stay put. That got thwarted when I couldn't find the other comb. I have, of course, since found it, but never mind. I attached the comb to the front and then made a loop in the back. Can you see? Yeah, there is the loop. I made a little loop so that you can scooch it onto your head and then take a bobby pin. I do not have one on me at present, so you're just gonna have to imagine a bobby pin in this here space, and
stick the bobby pin through your hair, through the loop, and again through your hair, and it will be reasonably secure. Now, if you don't have a comb at hand and you're in a fix and you want to make a witch hat that doesn't fly away from your head at the first gust of wind, you can also, of course, make multiple loops and secure them with multiple bobby pins, and you'll probably be good as gold. So that was my little tip for you. Lap sign. Well, that was it. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, liking, turning on the notification, leaving a comment. All these things help me tremendously in growing my channel. And if you want to support me even more, you can go over to my Ko-fi account and buy me a coffee. Or a tea. Bye bye for now. See you next time.